Somebody squat halt. Halt.
Dress it up.
Right dress. Bucktails. 5 paces to the rear. March.
I'm sorry.
Squat, right wheel. March. Halt.
Squads, order, arms, parade, rest. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming to the ceremony today. As David talked to you about it, we're going to go over to the house and have some pictures over there. The camp's open. We encourage you to come down and talk to us. We have a lot of things that we can display and give you information on. The first thing I'd like to thank is David and his group of Bucktails, Company K, and Chase Petro, Captain Chase Petro with the 149th Bucktails, who are Company C, but today we're Company B because of who we're representing. Our ceremony is going to be somewhat brief, but we're here to pay respect to those who are from this community or were from this community that fought and died for the United States and to preserve the country. Sergeant Ricker, bring your squad forward.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Hold on a second. Wait, let me call you back.
Right in front of them.
I guess I'm supposed to talk. Well, as anybody who knows me, it's easy to get me to talk, hard to get me to shut up. But I thought maybe you might wonder about this monument, why it's here. Curvensville, and I want to welcome you to Curvensville, is an interesting little town. They put out 2.5 companies of Bucktails. For a little town of 450, that's not doing too bad. The original Bucktails were Company K of the old Pennsylvania Rifles, and the second company was Company B of the 149th. We're going to have a picture taken here in a little while. That red house is cat-cornered across the street. That was the boyhood home of our founder, Captain E.A. Irvin. Now, E.A. actually ended up being a lieutenant colonel. At a place called South Mountain, he was very severely wounded. Came home to, quote, either die or recover. Well, he recovered. Well, South Mountain was September 14th, 1862. During the short time that he was home, he married his fiancée, and he told his dad, build us a house right next door. And a lot of you probably don't know it, but the big White House directly across the street was his home. That was the home that he had built and he raised his family. This plot of land is very special to him. He owned this plot of land, and as soon as he built the house, he said, I want to build a monument to my Bucktails across the street. Now, he went back to the Army, and he still had the ball in his chest, so he went to Philadelphia to have it removed. And you Bucktails will probably appreciate this. He came back to the Army as a newly promoted lieutenant colonel with somebody you may know, Charles Frederick Taylor. the newly promoted colonel. It's December 19th. A little over 90 days since he was wounded the first time, and he was leading a charge at Fredericksburg. Our Bucktails were carrying the flag that his mother had made and given to the original Company K boys. It was the most advanced flag in the Battle of Fredericksburg. And of course, Ed Irvin was cut down again, badly wounded in the arm. Wounded twice in less than 90 days. After he recovered, he tried to rejoin, and the Army said, "You're not fit for active duty, but if you want to be into the Invalid Corps, Veteran Reserve," he said, "No, I'll do the best I can for my boys here." So he set this plot aside. And when it came time to build or make a Bucktail monument, the other companies all got involved, and they said, "Well, why don't you make it for all the Bucktails, and why don't we do it in Driftwood, where the original first three companies mustered?" So that's where it ended up. And for years, this plot was empty until after World War I, they built or put the Doughboy Monument here. Well, after the very first Bucktail reunion, and all these gentlemen here were all veterans of the first reunion. If it wasn't for these boys, there wouldn't have been a reunion. Every one of them bent over backwards to make sure we had the logistics and to actually have a reunion. But anyhow, we would come up here on Memorial Day and we'd get to be part of the ceremonies, and we'd talk about Ed Irvin's dream of a Bucktail monument here. Why wasn't there a Bucktail monument? So finally, in the year 2000, a friend of ours, Ed Morgan, who was a retired newspaper man, he got on the ball. And for the next year and a half, he beat the bushes, and he actually got money raised, and that's the monument you see here. The centerpiece is a battlefield sketch by Edwin Forbes of a Bucktail in the field. The names on these plaques, those are the boys that we have records of. You look real close, you'll notice that it tells whether they were wounded, captured, and even killed or even died. I got the job of looking up those boys and doing the research. Are there mistakes there? Most likely. But every name and every marking after that name, I had to have 3 sources. A lot of the boys who were wounded never ever went into the hospital. Their buddy, their tent mate took care of them. So you want to see how hard these boys fought. Look at what they did and look at their names. So I'm kind of proud that Curvensville now has a Bucktail monument. And I'm sure Ed Irvin, looking out his window there, sees this monument, but he also sees boys wearing Bucktails in their hats. So I think that's the greatest tribute. And one little side note, if you look on the back, Ed Irvin, or Ed Morgan, the guy that actually got after getting this monument built, died before it was finished. He didn't want his name associated with any of it because he said, this is for the Bucktails. But if you look at the very back, there's a note on the back of this for Ed Morgan, because. So you're probably going to get me to shut up now. Kind of quick for me. Thank you for all being here at Curvensville. Enjoy.
This is the 33rd reunion, annual reunion of the Bucktails, and we respectfully request and we recognize it as the new era. These guys started this back in 33 ago. 33? 33. Okay? one of the best parts of what we do as reenactors, historians, and for the reunion is memorializing, honoring, and digging into research associated to the Bucktails and your own families. And through which you actually sometimes end up finding out that because of your love for the Bucktails, and you dig deep enough, you actually end up finding out that you're a descendant of Bucktails too. So, with that said, thank you for that, and laying the groundwork for everything.
I just want to say you guys are looking good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you guys.
Looking good.
With that, Rich Pauling.
You know, I've been involved in reenacting, but I was a college professor for 27 years. And I always said this to my students. If you don't know where you come from, then you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you have no idea where you are going. I'm a Marine. That's what that was. I come up here the last time we had a reunion, and guys had asked me to join the Bucktails, and I said, well, I don't have any relatives in the Bucktails. And so as I was getting ready to sound taps, which I will do shortly, I walked up to this monument, and over here, you don't have to move, is the name of two of my relatives. Their last name is Leninger. And I have gone to Remembrance Day at Gettysburg many a time, have stood up on where the railroad cut was, high up on the bridge. And as I look over to McPherson's farm, when I sound taps, it's for them. They died so that I could be here today. Don't take history lightly. Put it here, and you're going to change the world. Thank you.
Company. Present arm.
Three cheers for the old Company K of the new era. Hip hip. Huzzah! Hip hip. Huzzah! Hip hip. Huzzah! And a tiger.
Shoulder.
So you're ready for this.
Ready! At extreme elevation! Aim! Fire! Load! extreme elevations. Aim. Back. Recover, arm. Shoulder, arm. Honor guard. Freeze it, arms.
One. Freeze in. Arm.
Shoulder, arms.
Shoulder. Arm. Quad. Quarter. Arm.
This will conclude our memorial service
Arm.
over here at the monument. Thank you everybody for coming. On behalf of the 149th and the 13th Reserves, we're going to head over to the house if you guys would like to join us.
Bucktails! Bucktails! 1, 2, 3!